Hey, what's up guys, it's Bailey and welcome back to my channel for another video.
They asked for the goat, so I came through, bitch.
Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel for another video, and today's video starts a brand new series on my channel. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but pretty much I'm going to be talking about a bunch of true crime stories with like serial killers and kidnappings and just a bunch of different stuff because I thoroughly enjoy that kind of stuff, which I know it sounds really weird, but like I do. But I got inspired to do this from another YouTuber named Savannah. I forget her last name, but I'll leave a link to her channel down below. But I got inspired to do this because of her, because I thought it was really interesting that she kind of broke down and talked about different serial killers and just different crimes that have happened. So I thought I would do the same thing on my channel. Before we get into this video though, guys, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more videos. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up because that really helps me out. And make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media down below. Now, let's get into this. For the very first one, as you guys can tell by the title, we are going to talk about the Cleveland Kidnappings. And I wanted to talk about this one first because I'm from Ohio. And where I grew up is only like an hour away from Cleveland, so I figured what better way to start this little series than to start off with something from Ohio. Ariel Castell was born on July 11, 1960 in Puerto Rico. His parents divorced when he was a child. After the divorce, he moved with his mother and his three brothers to the States. They first moved to PA, but then moved to Ohio to live with his father and the rest of his family. Michelle Knight was the very first girl to be taken, and she was taken on August 23rd, 2002 at the age of 21. The day she went missing, she was supposed to appear in court for a custody hearing about her son. No one really looked for her because she was an adult, and police assumed that she was a runaway due to the roughness of the custody battle that she was having. Amanda Berry was taken on April 21st, 2003, the day before her 17th birthday. She was last heard from when she called her sister to tell her that she was getting a ride home from work. The FBI considered Berry a runaway up until a week after she went missing, when an unidentified male called her mother using Amanda's cell phone, saying, "I have Amanda, she's fine, and she will be home in a couple of days." I know, creepy and fucking twisted. Gina DeJuice, I probably straight butchered that, but Gina went missing at the age of 14. She was last seen at a payphone. She was using the payphone to call her mother to see if her and a friend could have a sleepover at their house, which the friend, her name was Arlene, was Castro's daughter. Fucking insane, I know, oh my god. Gina was taken under the impression she was getting dropped off at her home. She trusted Castro because she was friends with his daughter. After Michelle Knight's kidnapping, Castro took her upstairs, tied her hands and feet together, and pulled her up using her hands, feet, and neck. He left her for 3 days without any food. The women that Castro had taken, they kept diaries, and they wrote that speak of forced sexual conduct, of being locked in a dark room, of anticipating the next session of abuse, of the dreams of someday escaping and being reunited with family, of being chained to a wall, of being held like a prisoner of war, of missing the lives they once enjoyed, of emotional abuse, of threats to kill, of being treated like an animal, and continuous abuse, and of desiring freedom. The women were kept upstairs in bedrooms where they were forced to use plastic toilets that were emptied infrequently. They were fed 1 meal a day and allowed to shower twice a week at most. Knight told police that Castro had impregnated her at least 5 times and had induced miscarriages each time through beatings, hitting with dumbbells, punching and slamming her against walls. Starvation was also a part of that. Knight's grandmother told reporters that she would require facial reconstructive surgery due to the beatings she endured, and she also lost hearing in one ear. At one point, Knight had a pet dog while in captivity, but Castro killed the dog by snapping its neck after it bit him while trying to protect Knight. Gina had also told law enforcement that she was raped, but did not believe she was ever impregnated by him. In December of 2006, Castro allegedly ordered Knight to assist in the birth of Barry's child, which took place in a small inflatable swimming pool, and threatened to kill Knight if the baby did not survive. At one point, the baby did stop breathing, but Knight was able to resuscitate it. Occasionally, Castro would take the child out of the house to go see Castro's mother. Then the baby also identified Castro as daddy and Castro's mother as grandma. In 2013, Castro showed pictures to his adult daughters of this new baby girl and said that this was his child from a relationship that he was in. But when he would show others pictures of his daughter or of this little girl, he considered her his granddaughter. According to a statement from Cleveland Police Department, they only went to Castro's house once during the kidnappings, and it was on an unrelated issue. Neighbors do claim that they have called the cops multiple times on Castro for weird things going on in the house, but the police have no recollection of any of these calls. Castro's son Anthony did report that there were certain places in the house that were kind of like off limits. He mentioned an occasion where 3 weeks before the woman's escape, Castro had asked his son if Barry would ever be found. Anthony said he told Castro that Barry was most likely dead, to which Castro responded, "Really? You think so?" In an interrogation with Castro, he was able to recall all 3 of the abductions in great detail and indicated that they were unplanned crimes of opportunity. Castro really didn't have an exit plan, and he genuinely believed that one day he would eventually have been caught. He also referred to himself as cold-blooded and a sex addict. Police found a suicide note in his house, which he allegedly discussed the abductions and wrote that all his money and possessions should go to the girls that he abducted. On May 6, 2013, Barry was finally able to get in contact with Castro's neighbor, leading to her escape with her 6-year-old daughter and the rescue of DeJesus and Knight. When Castro left the house that day, Barry realized that he had failed to lock the home's big inside door, although the exterior storm door was bolted. She did not attempt to break through the outer door. She thought Castro was testing her. Previously, Castro had tested these girls and left the house partially unlocked to see if they would try to escape, and if they did, he would beat them. So instead, this time around, Barry just screamed for help when she saw the neighbor through the screen. The neighbor's name was Angel Corridor, and he responded to the screaming but was unable really to communicate with Barry because he didn't speak English that well. Now, another neighbor named Charles Ramsey joined Corridor at the house's front door during the rescue. A hole was kicked through the bottom of the storm door, and Barry crawled through carrying her daughter. Ramsey said Barry told him that she and her child were kept inside the house against her will. Upon being freed, she went to the house of another Spanish-speaking neighbor and called 911 saying, "Help me, I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here and I'm free." Once the call was made to 911, the police obviously showed up, and they get inside the Castro's house, and they are walking through with their guns out, you know how they do with their guns out and stuff. And they announce who they are. They say that they're the Cleveland Police Department, and Knight entered the hallway and just jumped into an officer's arms, repeatedly saying, "You saved me." A little bit after that, DeJesus entered the hallway from another room. Knight and DeJesus walked out of the home, and then all 3 women were taken to the hospital. Castro was then arrested the same day that the girls had escaped. He was charged with 4 counts of kidnapping and 3 counts of rape on May 8th, which carry prison sentences to 10 years to life. Once Castro was arrested, he was charged with boatloads of stuff from kidnapping, rape, murder, aggravated assault. So pretty much he was facing like 1,000 years in prison for everything overall. After all this was said and done, so much happened to the girls. Knight ended up changing her legal name to Lily. Some of them went off to school and been married and wrote books. And even one of them works for Cleveland's news broadcasting stuff as of 2017, which is crazy. And it's really nice to know that these girls were able to find a life and, you know, do something after this like really like traumatic experience. The house where all of this was taking place and stuff was eventually demolished on August 7th, 2013. On September 3rd, 2013, 1 month into his life sentence, Castro was found hanging with a bedsheet in his jail cell. The prison staff tried to perform CPR on Castro before he was taken to the medical center, which it didn't really do anything because he was then later pronounced dead. The following day, the coroner did pronounce his death to be ruled on a suicide, but then you fast forward to August 10th, 2013, the correction facility released a report suggesting that his death may not have been a suicide. There's even also reports that there was 2 prison guards that didn't even check or observe Castro before his death. He was pretty much just in the cell by himself and nobody was observing him or watching him. And finally, on December 3rd of 2013, they did finally rule it a suicide because of the way that things were arranged in his jail cell and all that kind of stuff. So he did kill himself ultimately. Okay guys, well that kind of closes out my very first true crimes video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys got to learn some information about something that happened that you guys might not have known about. I'm even from Ohio, and I didn't whenever I was looking this stuff up and everything, I didn't really know that much about it. I just knew that there was 3 girls that got kidnapped, but I didn't really know what this man did to them. He really starved them and raped them and then beat them and also made a girl go through 5 fucking miscarriages. That's insane. So the world is better off without him, to be honest, which I know that's horrible to say, but I said what I said. But it's crazy. It's really crazy. They did make a movie about this. It was a Lifetime movie. I think it's called The Cleveland Kidnappings or something. So if you guys want to check that out, go for it. I actually am kind of interested in watching it now too. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more videos. Follow me on all my social media down below. And until the next video, guys, deuces.